Greetings, comrades. This is I'm Giving Caleb. Been a while since I've done a VR video or any video other than Factorio for the last month or so. But yeah, no, update 105 isn't out yet. Anton's still working on it, but he's getting closer and closer every week. But yeah, it's been a crazy month. You know, my dad was in the rehabilitation clinic for a few weeks for physical therapy. He's gotten a lot better, and he definitely has some energy. Still a little weak at times, but he's getting there. And a lot better than was before. And yeah, I've been busy, you know, taking care of stuff around the house and stuff while he's gone, and other IRL stuff. But I figured it's time to do something other than Factorio for once. I am plenty more Factorio content, of course. But it's time to get back to my other stuff, some VR videos. Definitely planning on getting back into Doom. And I like to do some more BeamNG Drive and People Playground videos. But you know, so much to do, so few days off. That's just how it is. Greetings, comrades. This is I'm Giving Caleb, back with a VR video. It's been a while since I've done a video other than Factorio, but now it's time to get back at it. Time to get back to what I was, you know, normally doing, which is Doom, VR, and a bunch of other shit. But anyway, I figured I'd do something a little special. Now, remember before, when I was doing H3VR videos, I was doing special for Battlefield 1, Black Ops, Cold War, Vanguard and stuff like that. Now we're doing something special. Not only is Modern Warfare 2 2022 coming out next month, but we're getting close to the 15-year anniversary of Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Yes, the game that pretty much put Call of Duty on the spotlight, or crosshairs, depending on your perspective. But let's be honest, Call of Duty 4, it changed first-person shooters from then on. You know, it made modern shooters awesome, and had a great campaign, you know, memorable multiplayer, and quite a variety of weapons. You gotta remember, before Call of Duty 4, you know, Call of Duty is known for World War II, and Call of Duty 4 was the first Call of Duty to make a switch to the modern era. And then World War and Modern Warfare 2 came out, rest is history. But anyway, we're not here to delve too much in the history of Call of Duty. We're going to check out some of the weapons from the original Call of Duty 4. And unlike the other games that made specials for, most of the guns in Call of Duty 4 are in H3VR, albeit with a few caveats and exceptions, which I'll get into that later. Now, this is going to be a two-parter here. I'm going to be covering the pistols, the SMGs, and the shotguns. The next video will be the assault rifles, snipers, and machine guns. Because back then, there weren't a lot of guns, and there also weren't many attachments. Because you gotta remember, back then Call of Duty 4 was a revolutionary game for the time. It introduced perks, introduced weapon customization to an extent. You gotta remember, there were only like 3 or 4 attachments, and like today we have like, you know, more attachments than Call of Duty has releases every year. But yeah, it's quite an evolution since then. 15 years, can you believe it? That's right, 15 years ago. When I first played Call of Duty 4, George W. Bush was still president. Let that sink in. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to the meat and potatoes. The reason you clicked on this video, hopefully. The guns. And yes, I'm doing it in the grill house scene because change of scenery. And my headset got weird for some reason. Anyway, we're going to start off with a good old 19, and now a good deal of these weapons I showed off in the past, but I figured we'd do it again. This here's a 1911A1 modern version. Talk about the different finish and the different color of the grips on there. And 45 ACP, classic design, been around for more than 100 years, so it's doing something right. There's another legendary handgun here, the Beretta M9. This is specifically the A1 variant. Not sure if this is the exact variant used in Call of Duty 4, but that's what I'm rolling with because it's awesome. Little 9mm 15 round magazine. Very nice. I love Berettas. I would love to get my own one day. I'm still trying to get a Glock. And no, the Glock is not Modern Warfare. That is shown to Modern Warfare 2, and even then, it's in the machine pistol category. We'll also talk about 45 ACP, the Heckler & Koch USP 45. Also chambered in 45 ACP, as you can tell by the name. And they really look cool looking gun. You get the rail on the bottom, it's mounted a laser sight, and almost a futuristic design to it. Pretty weird, but yeah. Not a large capacity compared to the Beretta 12 rounds, but it is firing a larger bullet than the Beretta. And now, good old hand cannon, King of Mayhem, the Desert Eagle. This one, of course, chambered in 50 Action Express. We're all familiar with this gun by now. Yeah, one of the first H3VR videos I made was about this gun. In fact, my very first H3VR video was the good old 1911. Alright, so that's the pistols out of the way. Now for the SMGs. Now, showed off a few of these already. Got the good old MP5. Again, not sure if this is the actual variant used in Call of Duty 4, but we're going with it anyway. Of course, gotta have that flashlight 4 stock. And of course, being an MP5. Now, back then, in Call of Duty 4, they didn't do the HK slap, but I'm going to be doing it here because it's just awesome. But for those wondering, you can charge the MP5 like this. It's not what to say, but come on, let's be real. This, much cooler. And much more effective way to chamber the round. Alright, now let's get to the Mini Uzi. Now eventually I'm going to do a video dedicated to the Uzis because it's such an iconic gun. An Israeli SMG made in the 70s. But there are 3 different versions. There's a regular Uzi. There's this one, the Mini Uzi, which is in Call of Duty 4, and the Micro Uzi. A 32 rounder here. Our folding stock, which they didn't use in the game. So naturally, bullets gotta spray over the place. We got single fire, but of course, full auto. You can see why this is not recommended to fire it one-handed. At least not without the stock. Even then, it's not that great. So that's how you hold the Mini Uzi. Yeah, I'll do a little more in-depth video of these guns later. That's the Mini Uzi. Now next up, the Scorpion. Yeah, rather infamous weapon. You know, in the actual game, you know, very inaccurate, small 20-round magazine, and a very long reload animation, but in hardcore mode, that's where this gun shines. And a very small charging handle. I don't know how you expect to do that with even 2 fingers. Yeah, a lot of people don't know the Scorpion has a retractable stock. Don't remember if I fired that fast in COD 4. But they did hold it like this. Might have been better to use the stock, but whatever. Yeah, interesting little gun. Now, oh man, the P90. I'm sure we're all familiar with this gun by now. Remember when I first saw this gun? It was back in the Nintendo 64 days. GoldenEye 007. Who remembers the RCP90? Oh man. I think we now know where the design of that gun came from. Yeah, very cool. It looks like a toy, but very innovative. It's a bullpup design, as you can't tell. The rounds actually eject from the bottom of the gun. Very interesting. Ambidextrous, so you can fire from either side. You know, got the Picatinny on the top, so you can mount a sight, stuff like that. And the fire selector is actually located under the trigger. It's safe, single, and full auto. Now, even with these smaller VR controllers, it's kind of hard getting a good grip on the P90 without it trigger all over the place. Very cool gun. And can you fire one-handed? You kind of can. It's not that much recoil, but still, just... Now for the shotguns. Now, one is kind of sort of accurate, the other isn't. I'll explain. This is a Benelli M1014, though the actual gun in the game is based on the M4 Super 90, which isn't in this game, but we're still gonna have fun with this. Yeah, semi-automatic shotgun, gas operated. Basically, this isn't like your... It looks like a pump-action shotgun, but it's not. It's semi-auto. Basically, each pull of the trigger, ejects a cartridge, loads the next one in, without having to pump it. Yeah. Technically load it like that. Shoot the other target and leaving him clean. Yeah, very cool gun. And last gun for the video is supposedly the Winchester, the W1200, but we don't have that in the game, so in its place I'm using the Remington 870 because it's pretty much the closest gun resemblance to the W1200 in the game. I already showed this gun before in my shotgun shell video. Yeah, it's basically a pump-action shotgun, as you can tell. If you fire it, pump it, fire it again. Yeah, to get a proper Winchester 1200, this is a lot to do. So anyway, that's it for this video of the Call of Duty 4 Special, comrades. Next video, of course, will be assault rifles, snipers, and LMGs. Until then, this is I'm Caleb signing out. Have a good day.